User management is an essential responsibility for Linux administrators, ensuring secure and efficient access to system resources. A solid understanding of managing users allows administrators to maintain system integrity, enforce security policies, and streamline administrative tasks. This video explores essential user management concepts and tools to help you effectively manage users in a Linux environment. In Linux systems, users are people or entities which interact with the system to perform tasks. Users are primarily identified by a username and a unique user ID, but have additional properties as well. User accounts can be designated to physical users or applications running on the system. There are three types of users on a Linux system. Root is the unrestricted account used to perform system administration tasks. The root user has a user ID of 0. System users are accounts used by the system to manage application access rights, typically with a UID in the range of 201 to 999. For example, a web server like Nginx or database like Postgres typically run under a dedicated system account. Regular users are accounts used to log into the system by real users, typically with UIDs greater than 1000. Linux systems include standard utilities to manage the creation, modification, and deletion of user accounts. Users are created with the user add command. The basic syntax of the command is user add username, which, with no arguments, will create a regular user with default properties. Linux stores user and group information in specific files on the system, the etc password and the etc shadow files. The etc password file is a text file containing basic information about login accounts on a system. It contains a list of colon-separated properties for each user. The name is the user's login name. Password is traditionally the user's encrypted password. However, in modern Linux, this is replaced with an X, with the encrypted password stored in the etc shadow file. UID is the user's ID. GID is the group ID of the user's primary group. Comment is the comment field used for storing information about the user. Directory is the path to the user's home directory. Shell is the user's login shell. Use the getEnt command to read specific entries from files such as etc password by providing the file name and the target entry. User accounts are not created with a password by default. To assign a user a password, use the password command as root user. Another important file that stores user information is the etc shadow file. The etc shadow is a text file containing password information and optional aging properties for accounts. It is only accessible by the superuser. Each entry is a colon-separated list of 9 properties in the following order. Login name is the user's login name. Encrypted password is the user's encrypted password, or empty if no password is set. Date of last password change is the date of the last password change expressed as the number of days since January 1st, 1970. Minimum password age is the number of days in which a user must wait before they can change their password again. Maximum password age is the number of days after which a user must change their password. Password warning period is the number of days before a password will expire, during which a user must be warned. Password inactivity period is the number of days after a password has expired, during which a user can still log in and change the password. Account expiration date is the date of the expiration of the account expressed as a number of days since January 1st, 1970. Reserved is a field reserved for future use. Note that some fields are empty if not set for the account. Finally, to log in as this new user, use the su command with the -L flag. Enter the password previously configured with the password command when prompted to start a new login session as this user. By default, the user add command creates regular users with a UID greater than 1000, a home directory matching the username under home, and a primary group with the same name as the user. Default values can be overwritten by passing the following flags to the user add command. As an example, the following command creates a user with a default ZSH cell, an expiration date, and a specific user ID. After running the command, check the password file to confirm that the account was created with the provided options. Default properties for the user-add command are specified in the etc default user-add file. Options include the path to the scale directory, the default shell, and the default location of the user's home directory. To view the defaults, you can pass the "D" flag to the user-add command. One notable parameter is scale. When users are initially created, files are copied from a special directory known as the scale directory, etc scale by default, to their home directory. The scale directory typically contains templates for files which should be created for each new user, such as the .bashrc and the .bash profile scripts, which are used to customize the shell environment for a user when they log in. This helps to streamline user provisioning and enable customization of users' home directories. Note that home directories are not created for system users. View the man page for the user-add command for details on all configurable variables. To modify the default user creation properties in the etc default user-add file, run user-add with the "D" flag, as well as additional options you want to change. At some point, changes within an organization may require modifying a user account in Linux and changing details such as their login name, home directory, group memberships, or shell. User accounts can be modified using the user mod command. The command accepts options similar to user-add and can be used to modify any properties of a user account. To rename a user, run usermod with the "L" flag and the new login name. Confirm the user's name was changed by viewing the entry in the etc password file. To change the location of an account's home directory, use the "D" flag to specify its new location. Note that changing a user's home directory in the way above does not create a directory under this name, nor does it modify the existing home directory. To move the old home directory to the path of the new one, add the "M" flag to the previous command. Password and account expiration are essential controls for maintaining security in a Linux system. By mandating password rotation and limiting access, they help limit potential damage caused by inactive or compromised accounts. Password and account expiration can be managed using the chage command. To view a user's account and password expiration details, use the chage command with the "L" flag. To change an account's password expiration, use the chage command with the "M" flag, specifying the number of days in which the password will expire. Set the password expiration grace period for a user with the "I" flag. To set an expiration date for an account, use the "E" flag, specifying the expiration date in year, month, day format. It may be necessary to lock and unlock accounts to secure accounts or resolve access issues with users. To lock an account, use the password command with the "L" flag. Attempts to log into the account will fail until it is unlocked. To unlock the account, use the "U" flag. Default properties for expiration, as well as other properties which modify the user-add command, are stored in the etc login.defs file. This file defines system-wide policies for user accounts and influences the behavior of tools used to create and manage them. A few notable parameters are the pass max days, pass min days, and pass warn age parameters for password rotation, UID min and UID max for the range of user IDs for regular users, GID min and GID max for the range of group IDs, and create home, which is whether to create a home directory by default for new accounts. For a complete explanation of the file, view the man page for the login.defs file. To delete a user, use the user-del command and provide the username of the target user as an argument. By default, the user-del command does not delete the user's home directory. Add the -r flag to remove both the user and their home directory. Groups are collections of users with a common purpose who share access to system resources such as files and directories. For example, a developers group might provide access to source code files and other resources in build environments such as a CI/CD pipeline. Groups can act as primary or supplementary. In Linux, each user belongs to one primary group but can belong to 0 or more supplementary groups. To create a group, use the group add command with the group name as an argument. Similar to users, groups are stored in files on the system, namely the etc group and etc gshadow files. etc group is a text file containing all the groups on the system. There is one entry per line containing the following colon-separated properties. Group name is the name of the group. Password, traditionally the encrypted group password, now replaced by an X. GID is the group ID. User list is a comma-separated list of users belonging to this group. etc gshadow is a text file containing sensitive information about groups on the system. Like the etc shadow file, it is only accessible by the root user. Each entry contains the following colon-separated fields. Group name is the group name. Encrypted password is the encrypted group password. Administrators is a comma-separated list of group administrators. Members is a comma-separated list of users who are members of the group. As with users, use the git ent command to view entries in these files. To modify an existing group, use the group mod command. To change the name of a group, provide the -n flag with the new group name. A common user management task is to add a user to a supplementary group so they can access additional resources on the system. Use the user mod command with the -a flag to append new supplementary groups to the user, specifying a comma-separated list of additional groups with the $G flag. To list the primary and supplementary groups of a user to confirm the change, use the ID or the groups command with the username as an argument. The ID command shows a user's UID, GID, and group memberships. The groups command prints a list of groups the user is in. Alternatively, use the git ent command to view the group entry in the etc group file. To remove a user from a supplementary group, use the gpassword command with the -d flag. Confirm that the user has been removed from the group by running the groups command. To remove an existing group, use the groupdel command passing in the name of the group to be deleted. To get a list of logged-in users as well as some statistics on the activity of each user, use the who, w, and last commands. The who command displays a simple list of users currently logged in. The w command shows a detailed list of users currently logged into the system, as well as additional information including their login time, terminal, idle time, and the command they are executing. The last command shows a list of last logged-in users. This video has provided an overview of Linux user management concepts and tools to help equip administrators to perform essential tasks. To summarize, use the user add, user mod, and user del commands for user management. The chh command configures account expiration and password expiration policies. The group add and group del commands are for managing groups. The etc password and etc shadow files contain user properties. The etc default user add, etc login.defs file contain defaults for user properties. The etc group and etc gshadow files contain group information, and the who, w, and last commands can be used for reporting on users' activity on the system.